Hello and welcome to Cavs Daily, your one-stop shop for everything Cavs related, the good, the bad, the ugly, sometimes the unrelated, if it's still about sports. This is the place. Presented by Fan Art, I'm your host, Paul Williams. Appreciate you being here with me today, just like every single other day. If you could, before we get started, well, you don't got to do it before we get started, but if you do enjoy this video, if you could please subscribe, like, come back for more. We're going to be doing this every day through the season until the Cavs win a championship. Then we're going to keep doing it, but that's the goal for now. With all that said, let's get to the first topic of the day, which is digging into the Cavs offseason. Now, we know that with the salary cap restrictions and the big four are, or the core four, already in place, that the Cavs did not go into the offseason working with a lot of maneuverability or a lot of assets or a lot of ways to change the team much unless they wanted to make a big trade of one of our core players, which just wasn't happening, no matter how much people push for that to happen. But the Cavs did still find a way to make a lot of solid moves. Again, Kobe Altman and the squad just finds ways to get it done when it doesn't look like they have any means to actually do it. And yeah, they were able to still, at least in my eyes, make some significant moves that I truly feel could be the difference with this team going a step or two further than they did last year. Of course, it's still going to come back to health. It kind of sucks to say, but a lot of times, especially when the NBA is like this, when there's three or four elite teams that could realistically win it all, it really comes down to which one of those are going to be healthy. I mean, you look at last season, it was Cavs, Boston, OKC. All year, everyone pretty much knew one of those teams were going to win the championship. Which team stayed healthy through the playoffs? Enough said. But still, the Cavs did make, in my eyes, a lot of good moves this offseason, starting with re-signing Sam Merrill on a 4-year deal. They did that around the same time that they let Ty Jerome walk to Memphis on a similar deal that Sam Merrill got. And I don't hate that at all. But we'll talk about that more in the next segment. But that was the first move. And then the Cavs, of course, traded former first-round pick Isaac Okoro to the Chicago Bulls for Lonzo Ball, which I don't see how that could be looked at as a bad trade for the Cavs. I think it's a steal and one of the highlights, if not the highlight, of the offseason. Then the Cavs were able to also bring in Larry Nance on a deal to get him back in Cleveland for the second time, where he grew up and his family is Cavs royalty. Has a father that's a legend, obviously, Larry Nance Sr. And then when we thought everything was done, the Cavs cut Amani Bates, signed Thomas Bryant, signed Killian Hayes, and put a bow on what turned out to be a pretty active offseason for a team with literally no movement or no wiggle room as far as money goes and not many assets to trade. The Cavs also did draft 2 players as they brought in Tyrese Proctor to really play a part, I think, in the future of the Cavs. And then the Cavs also picked up Niang with the 58th pick of the draft. So that's really the entire offseason for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, did a lot without much to work with. And with that being said, what do we think of the Cavs offseason? Are we giving it a thumbs up? Are we approving? Is it meh? Do you just not really care? Do you think it won't make a difference? Or are you just waiting to the playoffs and as long as the core four is still there, we'll see then? I can understand a lot of different points of views. For me, when it comes to the offseason for the Cavs, I think they knocked it out the park. And I know recently it probably feels like I'm a true Cavs cheerleader. And I'm not. I will be critical of them when they deserve to be criticized, which you'll see as the season goes. But, I mean, it's the offseason. The player, nothing can really change too drastically at the moment, and I am high on this team. I am high on this core. I am high on this roster. That's just what it is. So it's not being a homer or anything like that. I've worked in the media for well over a decade, so I know that. Uh, Even though with this I can be a homer, I, I can also see things from a equal point of view and not be biased. And I, even if I was from a different place and just an outside observer, I would still think this is a very, very good Cavs team. And I would still think that this was a great offseason for the Cavs front office, adding Lonzo Ball, Larry Nance, and Thomas Bryant while subtracting Ty Jerome, Okoro, and Amani Bates. I absolutely love it. I think the guys they brought in fit so much better with the team that we currently have. I think they'll bring in more veteran leadership. I think they'll bring in more diversity to what they can do, and I think they'll just fit great with this team. I think Lonzo Ball, assuming health, as I have to say every time, is the perfect backup point guard on any championship team. I would take him over Ty Jerome a million times. They both missed a lot of time with injury. Lonzo, of course, missed more. But when they're on the court and what they can do for this Cavs team, give me Lonzo Ball 10 times out of 10. Isaac Okoro, obviously, he was a Cav for a while, and I got love for him, but I'll take Larry Nance over him any day of the week, twice on Sunday. And then Thomas Bryant and Killian Hayes for Monty Bates. Yeah, I'll take that. Two guys that can actually see minutes on the court this season, and maybe, well, for sure meaningful minutes for Bryant and possible meaningful minutes, which we'll talk about in a little bit for Hayes. But yeah, I think those are a lot of upgrades, and they just really, really tightened up the bench rotation with guys that I think, I mean, you can look at it and see it truly is an elite championship type of bench. Like, we have the type of guys mixed with the starters we have and the stars we have. It seems like the perfect freaking mix. We just need to stay healthy. I'll tell you this right now. If the Cavs are healthy in the playoffs and don't make the finals, I don't know what I can put on the line yet. But if you guys could think of something, or I'll think of something. But I'm that confident with the roster right now and this team right now that I think there's no chance the Cavs don't at least make the finals and most likely win the finals if they stay healthy around playoff time. Back to the offseason grade. Overall, I'm giving it an A-. Only an A- because we could only do so much, and there's got to be room for like an even bigger offseason somehow. So I don't want to go too overboard. But yeah, I think it was a solid A-, 8.5 out of 10, 3.9 out of 5, however you want, 3 stars out of 4, however you want to label it. I think it was a very, very, very good and productive offseason for the Cavs, and I think it really did fit them with the pieces that they need to get over the top and win a championship. Now, if the Cavs are going to win a championship, they're going to have to get a lot out of the point guard position. It obviously starts with Darius Garland, but I wanted to talk about, before we get Garland back, which now doesn't seem it'll be that long at all, but before we do get him back, what is the point guard rotation going to look like? I honestly don't think anyone knows. I mean, we could see Jalen Tyson, for all we know, running the point guard to start the season, but realistically thinking, a lot of people are saying Lonzo Ball just fits so easily in taking that starting spot, and I'm not against that, but I just feel so strongly about Lonzo staying in that bench role and being the co-six man with DeAndre Hunter. I really don't want to mess that up with him, especially with the fact that we are going to have to play it safe as far as he goes with minutes and back-to-backs and things of that nature. But then it's like, bringing in Killian Hayes makes me think that the Cavs don't fully trust or believe in Craig Porter Jr. as a guy that can play real minutes to start the season in Darius Garland's absence. And obviously, Tyrese Proctor's still a rookie, so I don't know how great they feel about that. So Lonzo might have to start just out of necessity. But what if the Cavs, I don't know, what if they slid Donovan down one and started him at the one, Sam Merrill at the two, and then either Dean Wade or DeAndre Hunter at the three, with of course our two bigs. I think that could work. I don't think that would be a bad idea by any means until Darius gets back. That'll keep Lonzo in his spot coming off the bench. Also, DeAndre Hunter could possibly stay in his spot coming off the bench. And we'd still have guys like Larry Nance, Thomas Bryant, Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade. I mean, if it came down to it, Craig Porter, Tyrese Proctor, we'd still have a lot of guys ready to go if needed. So, I don't know. I think the Cavs should highly consider starting Donovan at the point guard and having Lonzo backing him up and having maybe Killian Hayes getting a few mop-up minutes behind Lonzo as the third point guard. That move just really plays with my head, and I think Killian Hayes will have all the chances in the world to play ahead of Tyrese Proctor and Craig Porter, and I think he will take advantage. He's a vet. I think he's ready now. So I do think he'll be the third point guard, both when Darius is out and when he's not out. When Darius is playing, it'll obviously be Darius starting at point guard, and then we'll have Lonzo coming off the bench, and then I think Killian would be the third point guard in that scenario. And without Darius, we could start Donovan at the point guard, keep Lonzo at the backup, and still have Killian Hayes as the third point guard. So, I don't know. I think that could be the move for the Cavs. It'll be more solidified in the coming days. I mean, media day is Monday. Training camp's next week. The preseason tips in less than 2 weeks. So, we'll be getting a lot of answers very soon. So, we won't have to speculate for much longer. Now, to wrap things up for the day, let's talk a little bit about who the odds-on favorite and most people are picking as the team to be and the team that's going to be the champion or is favorite to be the champion, which is the OKC Thunder. And I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't think OKC will even make the finals this upcoming year. And honestly, if I'm just speaking like what I truly feel, I don't think OKC. I would put money OKC doesn't get another championship with this core, which might sound crazy to say at the moment. I know everyone's so hyped about their very, very tough, I guess, championship run. But I don't know. OKC kind of looked like the same OKC that they did the previous few years when they got knocked out early in the playoffs in the series against Denver. I think Denver had numerous chances to beat them. And don't forget, Denver was coming off firing their coach, their long time coach, their championship coach, firing him just 2 weeks prior to that playoff series. So I just OKC does have a really good young core. I'm not knocking it. I just think SGA is a bit overrated. I think Jalen Williams is a bit overrated, and I think Chet Holmgren is a lot overrated. They have a good system out there, and they are a very good team, obviously. I just don't think they're the team to beat. I would take the Cavs and Denver over them. Houston, before Van Fleet injury, was very close as well, if I'm being honest. And I can see them losing to probably 5 or 6 teams in the West, like realistically. And I think even if they did get to the finals, the Cavs would beat them. And if OKC and the Cavs played and they were both fully healthy, Cavs win in 6. Mark it down. That's what would happen. And if any OKC fans get a hold of this, I know they're going to probably trash me, which I understand. Ride for your team. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I respect it. That's what I'm doing for the Cavs right now, so I get it. But I do think, just genuinely think, OKC is an overrated team, and I don't think they're the team to beat. They get the respect as the defending championship or the defending champion, of course, without saying yes, they are the champs. But that doesn't mean I have to think or predict that they're going to do it again because I don't. Mark it down right now. I said it on this episode today. OKC is not winning another championship with this core. If this show's still going in 3-4 years, I really hope it is. We'll go back to this and we'll see if they did. And I'll say this, the Cavs will win a championship before the Thunder win another one. Put it like that. Thunder got their one, but before the Thunder win a second, the Cavs will win their first of this core. That's written in stone. I think OKC will start to get exposed a bit more. They'll still have a good regular season because they just have the type of squad and system that can win games for sure. But I don't know if they're built to continue to go through the Western Conference playoffs as easy as they did last season. So we'll see. That's just my prediction. OKC, no more championship. If they make it to a finals and run into the Cavs, Cavs 4-2, book it, end of it. And that's the end of the show, guys. I appreciate you being here with me today. Like I say every single day, and I'll never stop because I really do. Whether it's one viewer, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, I appreciate it. And before I go, if we could just give one little prayer for the Cleveland Guardians this weekend as they can clinch the Central Division if they just take care of Texas, who they're playing at home. So go Guards, go Cavs. We're less than a month away. I will see you guys tomorrow with another banger. Until then, have a wonderful day.